Welcome to RVing and Travel Adventures. This is Jesús Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are at. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the continuum, the variety, the types of folks that go RVing. Everything from individuals that don't have a lot of money and live in an RV because they don't have a house, or those that have a lot of money and have a couple of very nice RVs and go to all the resorts and have a great time. So first of all, let's talk about my parents. My parents were itinerant farm workers. They had a shack, a very nice, modest shack. Used to be a Quonset hut in Crystal City, Texas. And they would get in their vehicle and go up north to pick crops in their modest little truck. This happened for my father from the 20s, 30s, 40s, up to the late 40s. My parents were itinerant farm workers. They drove their vehicle. They stayed in the back of their vehicle, sometimes with the children, or stayed in tents, or that sort of setup for itinerant farm workers, or as Latinos call them, campesinos. Okay, so that's my parents. So I had a certain understanding of their experience, and they did not like camping. They did not like taking the children camping because they said to me, we went camping and we did not enjoy it. It was we like having a house and staying in the house. I totally understand. Around the Oakland area, you have a lot of lower socioeconomic individuals and people that actually have jobs, camping along, certain areas that are neglected, isolated, pretty much devoid of a lot of infrastructure, under bridges and stuff like that, and they park their RV there. The RV might be very mobile. They just park it there and they live there. Some of them are, collecting social services. Some are collecting welfare, like I said, social services, and some are on Social Security, and some actually have jobs, like in Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is incredibly, incredibly expensive to live in. Rents are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month. And if you're a clerk at the old Walmart or at the 7-Eleven or a cashier at the Piggly Wiggly. There's no Piggly Wigglies in Silicon Valley. Let's say Safeway. You're not making that much money, and unless you inherited some wealth, you're going to be having some issues finding housing. So a lot of folks down there live on the margins in these RVs under the freeway, in these dilapidated conditions, and they try their best to survive in the United States of America. So that's pretty much the roughest element, the toughest way to exist in an RV. The next step up is that, I've been to these RV parks, very modest RV parks. These are not resorts. They do not have swimming pools or spas or hot tubs. They do not have extremely nice facilities. They're usually located in areas that are, off the beaten path. They're affordable. So people go to these RV parks, they park their rig, and they live there, and they exist on either welfare, Social Security, a modest pension, and such. So they can afford this place because they're only paying $300-$400 a month, somewhere around there. And they can survive on that. The rest of their check goes to food, electricity, odds and ends. So that's another level of individuals that are trying to survive. A lot of us can say, hey, but for the grace of, I would be in that situation. So the next step up is individuals who buy a modest RV and, basically live on the road in their modest RV, be it a modified van, a modified travel trailer, whatever, and they live on the road and they do a lot of boondocking. They've learned and they've become very good at living essentially for free for 14 days on this piece of land, then move to another piece of land, or have some friends that have a piece of land. They stay there for a while, and they just move around the United States following the best weather. They go, oh, during the summer, we're up north. During the winter, we're down south, and we call it good. And we try to survive pretty much on the West Coast. That's where a lot of these individuals live. It's more expensive and more difficult on the East Coast to do this lifestyle of boondocking and living on the margins and pinching your pennies by living pretty much free. You're not paying any rents. So a lot of your money that you have, you can, buy food, clothing, and gasoline and stuff like that. Gasoline's cheap, expensive. So the next step up is weekend warriors. Like me, I'm a weekend warrior. I'm the next step up. We buy a modest travel trailer, sticks and tin, or fiberglass laminated, or modest molded fiberglass travel trailer, and we go camping on the weekends, maybe for 2 days, maybe for 1 day, maybe for 4 days, and if the opportunity arises for extended periods, a week or more. And weekend warriors. I'm a weekend warrior essentially at this time. Okay. The next step up the old paradigm of RVing, and again, it's rather people go through these categories, and it's rather fluid. It's all a matter of their economic situation. And if that lottery ticket worked out, okay. So these are people that have very nice RVs. They're spending, instead of my $25,000, they're spending $50, $100, $200, $300, $400,000 on a very nice RV. And they go to nicer places. I go to modest places. I go to state parks. I go to modest, RV parks. My budget is $40 and under for an RV park. And typically I pay $25 to $30. And I'm pretty good with that, okay? But some of these people say, hey, I can spend a little more, go to some nicer locations. I reserve a year ahead of time, and I go to that beach on the Panhandle in Florida, or, and some other nice spots in Florida or in California. I reserve a spot near Santa Barbara, and I'm doing good. So these are people that are, have a little bit more money, have a little bit more planning, and they stay down there, and they usually come back to the same spot every year. And you can have different types of RV, but those spots are a little bit more expensive. Some of these, especially some of these campgrounds, private campgrounds. State campgrounds are usually relatively affordable, except they're in more exclusive areas. But those private campgrounds in near San Luis Obispo, Morro Bay, that's that area, or on the coast of Florida, are rather expensive. So that's a little bit of a jump up from the modest weekend warriors that only go 50 miles and stay at a state park. That's me, okay. So those folks are doing a lot better than yours truly here. My final category, again, these, there's a lot of, there's a lot of fluidity in this area. It's people that have a lot of cash and doing it very well, and they have the Prevost, the Newmars, the top-of-the-line Tiffins, the 45-footer, Class A's, and you can see them. I've gone to Colorado, and I go, hey, I go in this RV park, and I go, man, this is nice. This is very, very nice. Some people have more money than others. I have friends that have gone to New York and walking on the sidewalk, just walking around, minding their own business, and they say, stop here. A limousine is letting people out. People that are rich, they get priority over you. Come on in, sir. Come on in, sir. Come on in, sir. Ma'am, you look very nice. Okay, now you may pass. So there's different class structures in the United States of America. If you have a lot of money, you can buy yourself a very nice Prevost, Newmar, Tiffin, top-of-the-line 45-footer, and go wherever you want in style. You have budgets. I've heard of people have 2 Tiffins. They have they're on the road with one, not 2 Tiffins, 2 Prevosts, even better. They have one Prevost that's getting waxed, cleaned, the interior done, and they're using the other Prevost. Very nice. So these are my different delineations of the RVing market. Where are you in this continuum? I'm in that continuum that has just a modest RV. I do some weekend camping and extended weeks sometimes if I'm lucky and everything works out okay. I barely spent 25 grand on my travel trailer. I did not spend 200, 300, $500,000 on an RV. How about you? Were you on a certain budget? You know, everybody's on a budget. Some of us have big budgets. Some of us have teeny, tiny budgets. Hope you're doing fantastic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have the time, please leave your kind and super duper friendly comments below. As I like to say, abajo. Muchos gracias. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And please check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/JMM Garza from Fort Worth, Texas. Looking forward to doing some camping for about a week in about a month. Okay? Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you're at. It's a beautiful day here in Fort Worth. Gracias. Adios. Bye-bye.